So, are you ready? Now, let's officially begin the course on self-development psychology. Change, you always have a choice. As a psychotherapist for 12 years, I have been committed to helping my clients change. In my work, I have found a regular phenomenon. Many clients start their conversations with me like this: "Teacher, I am in pain, I long for change, but I have no choice." Why do they have no choice? They attribute the problem to an uncontrollable environment, a hostile society, an unfair world, or a family and past that they cannot change. These external factors constantly influence them, making them feel that they have no choice. Therefore, they stop their development and remain stagnant. These clients made me realize that the question of whether life has a choice is a prerequisite for change. Do you really believe that your life will really fall into a situation where you have no choice? If you believe it is true, then you have lost the possibility of change. The first thing I tell my clients in therapy, and the first thing I want to tell you here is, when it comes to change, you always have a choice. When you tell yourself that you can't do it, you have made a choice. When you stay in a company that can only provide for your basic needs and has no future prospects, you have made a choice. When you procrastinate to avoid work pressure, you have also made a choice. Change is a choice, and not changing is also a choice. All the excuses you make for not changing, such as not having enough money or time, being too troublesome, or unnecessary, they are all your choices. Even when you tell yourself "I have no choice," that is also your choice. Realizing that you have a choice is the prerequisite for us to start changing. But why do we always feel that we have no choice? I think there are two main reasons. The first reason is that you mistakenly believe that only when your options are ideal, do you have a choice. If your options are not good enough, then you have no choice. Actually, it's not like that. Choice is based on the current reality, not the ideal in our minds. What we choose is not the future result, but the action at this moment. For example, I am doing a job that I don't like right now, and I can't do the ideal job that I want. Because I need to support myself, I feel that I have no choice. In fact, the correct statement is, you are not willing to take risks for the job you like, so you choose to endure a job that you don't like to support yourself. This is an understandable choice, but it doesn't mean that I have no choice. Not to mention, there is definitely more than one way to support oneself. The second reason why we feel that we have no choice is that we are avoiding responsibility for ourselves. On the surface, we all hope to have more choices, but in reality, we often avoid making choices. Because sometimes, emphasizing that we have a choice is not a comfortable thing. You are very likely to think of another question: since I have a choice, is it my fault that I am not doing well now? I hope you don't think like that. The thinking mode of discussing right and wrong usually assumes a perpetrator and a victim. When we say that we have no choice, we put ourselves in the position of a victim, and we can shift the responsibility to the imaginary perpetrator, whether it is the environment or others. This way, we will not have psychological burden. Here, I hope you can change your thinking mode, not to think about who is right and who is wrong, but to think about useful or useless. If you emphasize that you are limited by the past, environment, and others, and that you have no choice, what is the use of this for your change? You may not be able to change, and it may not be your fault, but who is ultimately responsible for the results? It's still you.